Welcome back to GDT Tech Reviews. In this video we are going to do a detailed review and pick the top 5 best luxury watches 2022. So let us get started and the review based on our studies and small research. If you have any personal suggestion, do let us know in the comment section. If you are for the first time, don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell icon for more videos. We will be also providing affiliates link to purchase from Amazon. Kindly use to for best offers and purchase from anywhere in the world. So let's get started. The Unico 2 Calibre was designed to equip smaller chronographs and also open the world of Hublot to new enthusiasts. It retains the unique design of its former version with a double coupling system visible from the dial side as well as a 72-hour power reserve. But thanks to various technical optimizations, including the introduction of a new, flatter automatic winding system, it has been reduced by 1.3 mm in thickness. The art of fusion is expressed right through to the heart of the movement. Simple watches with innovative watchmaking concepts, Hublot has created a range of unique in-house movements. A unique design of the Unico automatic chronograph. An unparalleled power reserve of Mecha 10, tourbillon and MP11 calibers. A revolutionary motor approach with 11 MP05 barrels and 50-day power reserve. In its art of fusion, Hublot carries out a perfect symbiosis between functionality, architecture and design. For Hublot, materials are an integral part of their watch's design. They must complement their design, while protecting their mechanism and withstand the test of time. As such, the manufacturer has chosen to use high-tech ceramic for certain bezels and cases. It is an ultra-tough and almost entirely scratch-proof material, apart from the diamond, with a base of zirconium sintered at very high temperatures. The BLANCPAIN 50 Fathoms is, without a doubt, one of the most emblematic dive watches. You hardly can find a dive watch with more historical background, the model being one of the earliest watches of its kind and one that has helped define the very concept of the dive watch. But behind the name 50 Fathoms hides two sub-collections, and that since the early days of this model. First is the classic watch, with its more robust case and often larger diameter. Then is the BATHYSCAPHE, a more focused, slightly simplified watch that can be traced back to 1956. And while the modern version of this watch is today a very well-established model, the brand has decided to bring an update, with the new BLANCPAIN 50 Fathoms BATHYSCAPHE 43mm titanium, which we presented first here and, as promised, we now have them live. The story of the BLANCPAIN 50 Fathoms starts in 1953, making it one of the very first dive watches ever manufactured and commercialized. It was actually presented at the same time, Baselworld 1953, as another watch of the same style and function, the Zodiac Seawolf. Thanks to its CEO, Jean-Jacques Fichter, also an avid diver, and the implication of Captain Robert Maloubier and Lieutenant Claude Riffaud, French combat diver, this team created a watch to suit their needs, meaning a solid watch to be worn by dive soldiers. This new launch is the first time we see a redesign of the Royal Oak Offshore, which has always been presented in a 44mm case since the early 2000s. However, when it was launched in 1992, when it was announced, but the watch encountered complications in manufacture and only hit the market in 1993, was released in a shroud of controversy, with stories of the designer of the original Royal Oak, Gerald Genta, apparently being furious that his design had been stretched too far in what was to be the 20th anniversary of the first luxury steel watch. The Royal Oak Offshore was the design of the then young designer, Emmanuel Guet, and was released with a case size of 42mm, then an enormous size, and hence the nickname the Beast. The Offshore featured a chronograph for the first time ever, and introduced turbine rubber detailing. The case remains the same basic shape as the Royal Oak Offshores of old. Even when compared to the original Guet design, the resemblance is strong. The major changes are that this new case has larger polished chamfers in the edges, and the screw-down crown and chronograph pushers have a slight curvature. The original design had round pushers, but these were replaced with oblong-shaped ones in later iterations. The glare-proof sapphire crystal curved from 6 to 12 o'clock to seamlessly fit the curvature of the bezel and completes the overall design. Alternate surfaces of hand-polished chamfers and satin brushed finishing adorn the case and bezel, furthers the watch's new aesthetics. The now familiar mega tapisserie pattern adorns the dial, and is available in black, gray, taupe and blue hues, is newly designed, according to AP, to offer enhanced contrast and high-end finishing. The first thing you'll notice about the 1815, or any Lange for that matter, is the weight. At 36 mm, this is no large watch. Nevertheless, when you pick it up, it's heavier than you'd think, thanks to the beautiful gold case. Winding the watch every morning and setting the watch is a privilege. The feel of the click and setting mechanism could be compared to closing the doors on a Mercedes Pullman. Solid, quality, very German. The 1815 sports a silver dial with painted Arabic numerals and a countersunk small seconds. The blue steel lance hands contrast with the dial, making it easy to read even in low light. One of my favorite things about Lange is that their entry watches get the same finishing and attention to detail as their complicated watches. The annual calendar chronograph is one of the most fascinating yet rarest combinations in the industry, as we've experienced in this in-depth article. And one brand in particular does it better than the rest of the bunch, and that is Patek Philippe. For a good reason, since the brand invented the annual calendar function back in 1996. Now, there's a rather large collection of watches using this unusual combination, and specifically the 5905 is often regarded as the most attractive model. Today, Patek launches a new, surprisingly sporty version of this watch with a steel case, a steel bracelet and an olive green dial, with the new chronograph annual calendar 5905/1A. While on paper we're certainly talking about just a new version of a watch that has been in production for some years now, this new iteration of the large chronograph annual calendar, the reference 5905/1A, comes with some rather interesting attributes. Yes. Steel case and bracelet, not something that common at Patek, at least not in the range of watches. The 5905 is a modern watch, with a 42 mm diameter, which combines two of Patek's finest complications, the annual calendar function, which they invented, and the chronograph previously available in rose gold with a chocolate dial or in platinum with a blue or black dial. The 5905 is revamped this year in a rather surprising combination.